Hey YouTube, GunNut4570 here. We've got a World War II surplus Mosin Nagant bolt. I believe the correct pronunciation for that is Mosin Nagant, but you know, no one cares. Anyways, I'm going to show you how to take it apart and get rid of sticky bolt if you've ever shot a Nagant. I know mine, after about 3 shots, if I was getting 3 shots off as fast as I could on the third one, I really had to slap it up hard. So I'm going to show you how to get rid of the sticky bolt problem. If you know how to work the safety, you pull this back and turn counterclockwise into that notch. That's how you take it apart as well. So you pull back, and what I do is I put my hand here and just twist it to the side there. And now this part here slides out. This is the extractor claw here. This long piece here, there's the firing pin. So you set that down. Now this actually comes apart further. Turn this counterclockwise, it slides out. So you've got these two pieces to clean. Now this part, make sure you have something hard to press down on, because that firing pin is pretty sharp, and actually it goes in quite a ways if you've ever taken this apart. So here we go. Spanish to English dictionary. Thick enough, and who needs Spanish? Alright, so you push down. Now this part's pretty tricky. Push down as hard as you can till that touches the bottom, and then start unscrewing this. Again, counterclockwise till this comes out. Then you let go. Whew, that's pretty hard. Let go. You're going to have a nice hole in whatever you're doing, whatever you're using that on. Now this slides out. So you've got the bolt handle, safety, extractor claw, whatever the heck this is. Then you have firing pin and spring, which go together like this. Now this firing pin here, the way to get rid of sticky bolt is you put this in a power drill here, this end. Make sure you wrap it in some old t-shirt or something like that when you put it in, so you're not wrecking these threads here. I believe it was Iraq veteran 888 that I saw do this at first. Put it in a power drill so it's turning. Take some steel wool, maybe some 240 or 400 grit sandpaper, and just go over that bearing right there, and maybe even get up here. I got up here. I even got over here with a cloth and polished the firing pin off, but mainly right here on this bearing here. And then take this spring, just pick an end, and for me I chose the one that was facing here, and cut exactly one link of spring off. Exactly one link. And I had to use bolt cutters for that. It was pretty hard steel. But cut one link off, and only one, and then slide it back on like that. Make sure you polish that up real good. Now, while I have this out, I'm going to show you. I tend to just clean with REM oil and bore cleaner. Works the best. I know there's better stuff out there, but it's the cheapest. Best thing for the money. Take an old t-shirt rag or something. Take some bore cleaner. Take some REM oil. And just clean everything off. Just wipe it down. Get it nice and shiny. Clean all that metal off of there. Especially in these surplus guns, you have to clean them off real good before you shoot them at all. I know when I got my Mosin, it was just covered in cosmoline. That's that really nasty yellow stuff. It sticks to your hands. You can smell it from a mile away. That's cosmoline, and it's terrible. If you get a gun and you just start shooting it with that cosmoline on it, you'll wreck it. Just clean everything off, especially in there where you can see there's old primers. I think the primers, at least the surplus ones that I bought, they are corrosive, so it's good to get those out of there. The spring, really, you don't need to wipe that down. But everything else, just give it a good wipe. Go over it a little bit. Especially the first time, I actually went over everything with some good steel wool. Got some of the cosmoline off, shined it up a bit. If you look on a lot of these, see there's the communist star, they really have a lot of history. They're worth about $100, so totally worth it. Just clean everything off. Now, putting it back together, that's actually fairly tricky. So, get my Spanish to English dictionary here. Take the firing pin, take the spring that you just cut a link off of, and it's all got to go back into this. And make sure you have it the right way. The way to tell is the firing pin is facing the other way, so it's lined up with these numbers. The way I remember is that this slot is where the safety goes. Just put it into that. Now you're going to push down real hard again, as hard as you can. Should click in there. There we go. And just screw this back on. And only go until that screw in the end, see this, the screw head here is flush with that. Don't go past that, because that's actually dangerous, and the gun will misfire if you do that. If you go past that, the firing pin is hitting a cartridge wrong. It's going to smash the primer too far, and you'll get a pretty good explosion in your face. Anyways, so you want this right there. Now you take these two pieces, which we just cleaned off. You want to fit them back together. And then this has got to line up. One way to make sure is this here. See how it's sort of rectangular? It has to line up in there where it's got the slot for it. But then you can twist it just a little bit so that this here lines up with that. And then you got that back in. Now you turn this so it goes back. Although actually, something we should do first, turn it back to that. Now, when you have it like this, you can see the firing pin right there. That's what's striking the primer. You take this tool. You always, if you don't get this tool, then it probably should have come with the gun and you got ripped off. But this tool is extremely important when you take apart this gun, because this second notch here, that firing pin has to be higher than that second notch. And it has to be higher, otherwise it won't fire the gun. And so the way to tell is you stick it down, and if it's not touching, which this one it isn't, you're good. Now this notch here, it has to be shorter than that second notch in, which it is. So check, it's higher than this one, shorter than this one. If you do that, it's not going to blow up in your face. You have nothing to worry about. Now, get this back in. You pull this back, putting the safety off, and there's your Mosin Nagant bolt.